Welcome back.
Good morning, good morning. Sunday Championship, Youmacon 2014.
Yeah, we are at Youmacon 2014 StarCraft 2 in Detroit, Michigan. This is going to be day number 2 of this grand event we've had here. If you're tuning back in from yesterday, we saw a lot of exciting matches leading up to this Championship Sunday.
Absolutely.
And I am personally really looking forward to pretty much every single one of the matches we have coming up, except potentially Yoshi's, because we'll need to get an air mattress behind us here or something.
Yeah, those are going to go long probably, but who knows? You never know. So this morning we're going to be starting out with SpyderSlayer and Dancers match. That is the losers round 5. The winner of that match will go up against the winner of Yoshi versus Saiyan, and that will be the losers round 6, which is going to determine who goes up against the loser of the winners bracket semifinals, which is going to be between Desro and Winder. You can find all this information at the bracket site on challenge.com or !brackets in the chat. We'll get you the link there so you can check all that good stuff out. But yeah, lots of good StarCraft ahead of us.
Yep, I just linked that in chat so you can all follow along. As you know, we talked to Winter and Desro numerous times. There was a lot of trash talk.
Yeah.
Pushed between the two, both saying, Winter was ready to collect his paycheck, and Desro was like, you know what, not this time, bro.
Yeah.
They're going to be an interesting match to see here. That'll be our 3rd match of the day, it sounds like, at the moment. But before we get too much into things, our first match is getting set up and warmed up here. We do want to tell you about Mythologic. They've been our sponsor this weekend. They have thrown in $250 to the already grand prize pool of $500 here at Youmacon to make a total of $750 plus. Math is hard, but there's a pot bonus for every entrant that enters the tournament. So when you add it all together and do the math, it's about $1,000 total being split between the top 6 players. And Mythologic has also put up some pretty awesome Razor Mice that are going to go to the top 3. So do us a favor and go out to Twitter and give Mythologic a big thank you. You can tag us in there if you want, at WingNetSC and at Galligation, for sponsoring regional and both North America esports. They've sponsored quite a lot of things that we've participated in. They're pretty cool. They build some awesome gaming, custom gaming laptops. You can really customize them down all the way to the graphics and artwork on the case. They're really sweet. If you go to mythologic.com, you can check those out and let them know we sent you.
That's right. And Youmacon Gaming, at Youmacon_gaming, let them know that you appreciated having us out and watching us on stream, as they are the ones who are throwing this whole thing. It's an anime conference, Youmacon 2014. It's going all weekend. I think it started on Thursday. And is going to go through the end of today, and all sorts of panels and concerts and raves and all sorts of neat stuff. So definitely a cool event. If you're in the area, consider going next year. There's so much to see, so much to do. It's a lot of really great fun. Yeah,
we had the opportunity to walk around and check some things out a little bit yesterday after we got done with the tournament here. A lot of really awesome cosplay. If you have seen between our matches, we have our crowd cam / interview cam out there that points out to the crowd, and we've seen some pretty cool costumes going by. Overall, a pretty entertaining event. Get to check it out. But you know what? It's time to focus on some StarCraft, because we have a lobby all set. So let's talk a little bit about our players we have here.
That's right. So SpyderSlayer and Dancer, they actually faced up last year at this event. SpyderSlayer was able to come out on top in that matchup. But here they are again. Dancer's saying he's playing the best StarCraft of his life right now. And he may need it here. You know, his tournament life is on the line. Both of their tournament lives are on the line. They both want to get further in the tournament. I mean, they're already guaranteed money at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Everyone playing today is guaranteed money.
Yeah, so, I mean, but the further on you go, the more money you get. So, obviously, they both have a lot to gain by winning here. They both want to win.
Yeah, this is a loser match bracket. So, as you said, the loser is out of the tournament. They will still collect a paycheck at the end of the day. But, you know, as always, everyone is still striving for that #1 spot. And to be honest, I think anyone has a chance, depending on the day. You know, everyone can play differently if you get the right motivation. We've seen those hero miracle stories, but obviously Desro, Winter are the favorites, but you never know what's going to happen.
That's right. So I think that's all set. Looks like everybody's ready to go here.
All right, and let me make sure our players are ready. Both Masters players, high Masters players, actually. I know SpyderSlayer has been practicing quite a lot, and Dancer really had some great performances yesterday against a variety of different race opponents, and was really impressed with his play. Everyone is ready, so let's say here we go and jump on into game number 1 of this series between these two players, which are Zerg and Protoss.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen like a lot more Protoss this year than last year.
Yes, absolutely. And which led to the a lot more TVP, which is interesting, especially against the, if you tuned in, you saw the Yoshi matches, because how could you miss them? They're so long. And we got to see a lot of Yoshi versus Zerg last year, so it's exciting to see some different strategies to try and combat that mech. We'll see him coming up next against his opponent. I think it's Saiyan.
Saiyan, yep.
But as we jump into King Sejong Station, map number 1, game number 1 in this PVZ, SpyderSlayer versus Dancer. How many words can I come up with before this map finally loads? In the upper right-hand corner, the orange Protoss. Today, the first game of Championship Sunday, Youmacon 2014. It is Dancer.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, in the yellow carapace, trying to hang on to his tournament life, it is SpyderSlayer.
Get all our things set up on the screen. So, I mean, I mentioned a lot yesterday. We've seen this map is probably one of the 2 most popular maps to be the first one to come out. Either that or, what was the other one? I can't think of it right now. I shouldn't have even said anything.
Yeah, we have seen this map quite a bit, and it's a favorite amongst a lot of players. We always love to see kind of behind this base some hidden tech. There's always been some interesting stuff that happens on these rocks here. It looks like SpyderSlayer needs to pause to make some adjustments there. But yeah, there's always, not always, but it's a common tactic to use those back rocks behind that natural expansion as the staging area for something goofy. We've seen tanks shoot there. Obviously, we're not going to see that this game. There's no Terran players.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'll see hidden starports back there.
Yeah.
Neat stuff.
Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen any of the... We just, in any of the casted matches at least, we haven't seen any of the cheesy play. It's all been fairly solid, fairly straightforward, standard type of games, which is cool. It just means these players really respect each other and don't really want to pull that kind of stuff because it's too risky.
Right, and a best of 3, if you drop a single match, or a single game, that can be really devastating. So cheese can be risky. These guys just want to get paid. You know?
Absolutely. And we are going to have a decent number of matches today. We do have two different loser bracket matches, and then we will have the winner of those 2. And Desro versus Winter. The loser of that will then go down to face the champion of the losers bracket, which is kind of like a, I don't know what the word is for that. It's like the positive of the negative. The champion of the loser bracket.
I mean, this potentially second place or first place winner.
They could still win first place. They just have to win a lot of games.
They have an uphill battle in that scenario. Yep. So SpyderSlayer is checking out his opponent's base right now, looking around, seeing what's there. He's also getting his natural expansion put down there. Still no pool yet.
No, gateway is down. Cybernetics Core will be going down at the front of the base here, while the gateway was in the back.
SpyderSlayer did have a probe in his base and pulled a decent number of workers to try and kill it, was able to surround it, and that is done for. So that's the end of the information for Dancer at this point.
SpyderSlayer still does have the drone in Dancer's base, kind of scouting around here. Looks like SpyderSlayer going for a quick third base here.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of risky, but not really, because he sees what's going on here. He knows what's in his opponent's base. He knows there's nothing silly coming out here, so...
Gas before pool here as well, unless definitely, this may be a gas trick here to get this extra drone out. I'm not sure. If should have canceled it by now if it was, but he is supply blocked here with no overlords in production. So he's just he's using the drones that he's making buildings with to count as his supply at the moment. Still no overlords in production though. He is not. His hatchery did finish. So that does give him a couple additional supply. Now overlord finally does come out. But Dancer putting down an expansion as well here at the natural of his base. So SpyderSlayer, we've talked to him a couple times, and he's said that he's quite comfortable facing off against Protoss. So is this a 3 hatch before pool just kind of an example of that comfort, do you think?
I think so. I think that he's pretty comfortable with this build, and he saw what was in Dancer's base. He knows that there's not really anything too looming on the horizon that could potentially take him out. He saw the natural expansion going down. So, he's feeling comfortable. He's going to play his game his way.
You can see the mothership core here flying around, kind of heading down towards his natural expansion to scout that out. While it looks like Dancer's going to start to construct a mega wall here at the most giant ramp in any of the maps, I believe.
Yeah, it is quite large.
That's definitely a challenge of this map versus Zerg, is if you're going to attempt to wall off, you have to do it very creatively, and you can't be real safe anytime soon. These Lings are definitely going to get there before that wall is anywhere near constructed, and that mothership core is a long ways away, so it will not be able to assist with that besides getting a few pot shots and killing actually one Zergling here. So some target firing looks like done by Dancer. Wow, I wonder if he planned on this, because this is a lot of softening up of these Zerglings that this mothership core is getting done right now.
Absolutely.
1 to 2 hits from this Zealot on the weakened Zerglings will be enough to take it out, but trying to get this round on that Zealot. Looks like he is going to be able to get it, but looks like he's maybe trying to target fire down the weakened Zerglings, but he's microing his little heart away as those Lings are getting the work done against that Zealot.
Yep, so that does go down, but it got a decent number of kills there. Sentry is now being surrounded by these Zerglings. That is something that you really don't want to lose. It wasn't able to get down a force field on the ramp or anything like that, so we are going to be seeing some probe kills here. Mothership core is now coming back, so there's going to be a photon overcharge here in a moment.
Oh, nice ramp. Force field on the ramp there. It does segregate half of the Lings, so the Mothership core will be able to poke away at those, but losing a second Sentry and continuing to lose probes is Dancer. Photon overcharge at the natural expansion is beginning to whack away at these Zerglings, but that is not going to help against the ones that are in the main base.
And a lot of these buildings are getting powered down now. Dancer's gateway in the front is now powered down. Cybernetics core is powered down, so he's just going straight in for these probes. That Sentry is being a little bit annoying, but is out of energy now, so not super useful at the moment. There is a Zealot walking around, going to try and help its buddies out, so those Lings do get cleaned up, and I'm not sure what SpyderSlayer's doing with these Lings that are down at the natural expansion.
I think he knows that he has the advantage here, and he's just he's just funneling Lings across the map. I don't think that was a mistake. I think he was just trying to continue to kill any probes that may come out there. Now that the photon overcharge is done, Dancer is still supply blocked. Lings continuing to come in. A third Sentry goes down, as well as the Zealot. This is looking not so good, sir, here.
Yeah, and SpyderSlayer's really doubling down on this. He's not making any drones whatsoever. He's just all Zerglings all the time, and he's just going to keep driving this wedge in Dancer's economy.
And then looking at the units here, it is 25 probes to 22 drones, and SpyderSlayer is now putting down a Baneling nest, and he's, like you said, he's just doubling down on this, but he has 3 hatcheries worth of production right now to continue to make these Zerglings, and he is just continuing to do that. So many Zerglings continuing to funnel into Dancer's bases. 3 gateways going down. Looks like this one is not going to be canceled, so he's going to lose that second photon overcharge in the main base. Shoos away those pesky Lings to the natural expansion, where this Nexus is going to go down.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So the photon overcharge is still going. Mothership core is very low on energy at this point, so that is going to be not a whole lot more of those are going to be happening. So it looks like SpyderSlayer is just trying to clean up some of this tech that's a little bit outside the range of that. Takes down that Cybernetics core, so there are no more Stalkers going to be happening anytime soon. Gateways are going up behind the mineral line, and to try and get any more Zealots that they can possibly get, but there is a big more cocooning over here.
Yeah, Banelings are being made, and SpyderSlayer is getting that layer 2 also to be able to get upgrades or possibly Baneling speed, but I think this game is going to be sealed up here. Although there are a lot of Zealots in the mineral line, they are all bunched up, but here come the Banelings on the backside. Probes bunching up, and there goes 15 probes of Dancer. He really does not have much of a hope left at this point, with these Lings continuing to just outnumber these Zealots to an extreme amount, and there's the GG.
So SpyderSlayer doing a 3-base all-in Ling attack there.
Yeah.
Really just funneling things.
It wasn't even really all in. I mean, he wasn't making that many drones behind it, but he could have switched to making drones at any point. I mean, he really beat down Dancer's economy to the point where he's just like, you know what? I don't need to make Lings. I'm just going to go ahead and keep on doing what I'm doing. And he did end up getting his layer at one point, so he was starting to kind of transition just in case, I think, even though, I mean, he'd already taken out Dancer's expansion and had Banelings blowing up the everything. So
yeah, I mean, he definitely saw a foothold and he went for it. He knew that he had the extreme advantage when you're on 3-base and you deny your opponent's expansion, so you're back down to 1. You definitely are in a comfortable position. So SpyderSlayer goes up 1-0 against his opponent. Dancer's life is now on the line. He's got to win the next 2 if he wants to stay in this tournament.
Absolutely. And, you know, I was kind of last night we were looking at the brackets and it's kind of making predictions. I kind of had in my head how I thought the order was going to go, and you know, I'm standing to be surprised here because I was thinking that this would be maybe a little bit tougher for SpyderSlayer. At this point, he made that look easy, but that doesn't mean Game 2 is going to look that way.
Could be very different.
Dancer, you know, I think he just kind of gamed out Dancer in that game, going with something that we haven't seen out of SpyderSlayer yet.
That's right.
But
So
we will see what comes in game number 2. We're going to take a brief break here while we get that set up, and we'll be right back.
stay tuned.